Hello, everyone! Another week is kicking off today, and I feel grateful for the opportunity you have given me to bring some trainings and resources for you. I am dedicating this month to our goals, careers, and jobs, and I want to kick off today empowering you to continue your journey with passion. May you grow every day and deliver the results that you expect from your projects. Today, I want to focus on job satisfaction. The reality is that most people feel dissatisfaction from their jobs at some point in their lives. Indeed, the latest studies released by the Australian consultancy PwC indicate that a majority of the workforce still struggle financially and managing their workload. Although around 50% of the workforce have experienced growth by learning new technologies and methodologies, about the same proportion struggle to adapt to changes and adopt new ways. I want to share with you today a tool to help you go through a self evaluation process to determine how satisfied you are now in your job. This is the job satisfaction wheel. This is a powerful tool to help you detach from your emotional outburst of the day and define, upon a scientific study, whether you need to focus on a new career or job, and according to your own expectations and measurements. This wheel is composed by 8 elements. Each one of those is measured in the scale of 1 to 10. The total punctuation would be 80 points, being 80 the higher satisfaction index and conversely 1 the lower satisfaction index for you. According to experts, these are the most critical areas that every person ponder when they are surveyed about this subject. The number one point of matter always revolves around the income. You want to work in a job that gives you a return for your time, your skills, and effort. However, there is an important number of people that feel they can only cover their bills with their income. Another important component that influences the level of satisfaction is the environment. How satisfied can you be in a job where a toxic environment is carefully promoted? I guess it will be a solid zero. At least, that's how I felt at some of the jobs that I had in the past. On the same sentiment, we can talk about the people, our colleagues, and who we work with. A toxic environment isn't fostered by the furniture. In order to find a toxic environment at job, we must encounter people who foster such a thing. Another point that I consider relevant in this first half of the discussion is the workload. It is a fact that most people compare their salaries with the workload. Most of the time, people can feel that the workload is beyond the salary they perceive. This comparison is usually a trigger for people to decide to move to a new job. They don't actually feel challenged by the level of expertise. On the contrary, they feel overwhelmed by the amount of work assigned on a regular basis, and when they add to it their financial situation, then their level of dissatisfaction increases. Does it make sense? These four items are vital for most people make the decision whether to stay or leave a job. Whether a career change is appropriate or focus on opportunities that can bring growth. And that's how we jump to the next segment of the evaluation. Does your job, your career, or your current position offer opportunities? What are some of those opportunities that make you loyal to the company you work with? Maybe it's the opportunity to get promotions or the opportunity to do networking. What are the opportunities that your current job gives you? Are those opportunities part of your contract or are they made to the discretion of your bosses? How is the selection process done? A good modulator of this segment is growth. How much growth can you take from your job? In what ways can you grow within the organization? Are they professional development pathways for people like you? Are there continuous improvement division dedicated to evaluate the current processes and tackle those areas that require more attention? Are there implemented regular activities to encourage participation and self-actualization within the organization? In what ways the organization grow in general and how that influences your own growth? Different from the middle 1980s, this era is more focusing on growth. We are implementing AI, we are implementing robotics, we are implementing automation to speed up the projects that each company has. Is this involving you in a self-actualization journey? Or on the contrary, is it causing you negative impact on your profile and your job? In this particular aspect, the latest report from PwC indicates that skills sought by employers are changed at a 25% higher in occupations that are requiring implementation from AI or generative content from AI. Are you aware of those? Are you aware of those changes that how the employability skills are turning towards the management and the expertise over AI? If so, how is it impacting your industry? How does it impact your current position? And how could it impact the future of your job with the implementation of generative content tools or any other AI implementation in your particular job, industry, or your company? How can impact in the future with an AI that is innovating every minute? The current data says that 37% of the workforce have never used generative AI tools on their positions, something like ChatGPT. The data says that 1 out of 4 employees don't have access to AI tools or are not applicable to their current positions. We are talking about a quarter of the workforce, which means that 3/4 of the work positions globally seek people with knowledge of AI tools. Is this looked at by your employers as an opportunity to foster growth within the organization? How do they implement it? How familiar are you with generative AI tools now? In what ways would you be able to implement them in your current roles? And lastly, we talk about variety. This is a basic need in the human being. Yet, some traditional structures insist in the monotony and no variety of tasks which make up innovative initiatives and growth. Is this your case? How much variety do you have at your job? Does it stimulate your creativity? Does it stimulate your curiosity? Does it encourage you to take a new learning journey? Once you have completed and connecting the dots, or coloring the bars if you prefer, that indicate where you are in relation to your job, you will have an idea about your overall state and whether it is worthy or not to think in a new career. Maybe you want to take a new opportunity or get prepared for a future transition, finding a new job that brings you more satisfaction than the current one. When we go through these type of self-discovering evaluations, we gain insight about the issues that influence our overall life. Keep in mind that you spend a third of your day in your job. It has a great impact over your emotional state, your intellectual development, your finances, and also how you are perceived by others. Look, I found this satisfaction wheel or this job satisfaction wheel a really useful tool to determine whether we need to take action now or prepare for a future action to move to a different job or take a new career. I have more than 20 years of work experience in different industries. And every time that I make a shift or I change my career, I always refer to a methodology that will help me to make the right decision in the moment. Because the reality is that sometimes we can feel overwhelmed. We can have a sensation of overwhelming. We can have an issue at job. We want to do something different that we are doing right now. It happens to every single human being, mostly when we are going through a transition that may or may not influence what your role or your performance at job, in your current job. That happens most of the time. However, when we refer to these type of tools, we can always find a clear way to measure out of our emotional state whether we can or we cannot think in the moment of a new change or a new job or a new career, or what are the real reasons behind we would like to move to a different job position. I remember when I was in my early 20s, just starting in the industry of journalism and communication, I used to move from one job to another only because of the salary. I was so in love with this profession that the only one motivation that made me move from one company to another was the salary. Looking in perspective now, there were many other reasons that I could implement and many other strategies that I could implement that would affect positively and would influence exponentially my growth as a journalist back in the day. However, when I start my entrepreneurial ventures, when I start my first company, when I start changing my career, or making good relations and connections with other people in different industries, I realized that the use of this tool was absolutely astonishing in order for me to create a path, a conscious path, and aiming to specific results. That's the reason why I wanted to recommend this tool to you today, because I know by my own experience and implementation that it will serve you to your purposes and deliver the results that you want when you think about a transition, or you think about a new career, or you think about how much you want to get a new job and fulfill a new job that can fulfill all these needs that are not covered in your current position. I would recommend you to take action now, download this tool, and start working on that immediately. It's only going to take you a few minutes of honesty with yourself so you can move to the next level and take the next decision with high level of consciousness. A PDF is available for you to download on the link in the first comment, and give yourself the opportunity to aim for growth and leave your comments in the comment box. Remember, if you have any questions, whether it is about this training or any topic in general, I encourage you to write them down on the Q&A thread that I post every Tuesday. I will say bye for now. I am Angel Gonzalez, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye bye for now.